Ladies and gentlemen, buonasera a tutti. What's going on? Welcome to another special edition of Culture with Reno Z. And we are officially live with a guest, Alejandro from the Bianconeri zone. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, like personally good. Football wise, a bit less.
Yeah, what is a bad time to do this, because Inter and Atletico are playing at this moment. We can
Yeah,
be sad because we're not in the Champions League, but it is what it is.
yeah,
So before anything, guys, put a like and subscribe. Then, of course, if you guys, to all my fellow Juventini, please check it out, the Bianconeri Zone. We're going to cover everything about Juventus. Of course, my eyes are going to be on a little bit this Atletico Madrid Inter match, see how they're going to do. And then we're just going to cover, starting off with the Juve Verona, the Allegri situation, Juventus news, Chiesa, everything. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, let's start off with the Juventus Verona. I'm pretty sure not everybody's happy about this game because after Udinese losing to Udinese, then tying with Verona, like these are games that we have to win, in my opinion. But me personally, the game itself, I'm pretty sure you talked a lot about this game, me too, but the game itself, like they were really bad. Uh, I don't know what's going on with the boys. I know I like that we can put the blame too, but even the boys, I don't see any enthusiasm, let's say,
Yeah,
like any love, energy, strive to win these games, or maybe they don't want to play with Allegri. I have no idea, but I'm very shocked with my boy Chiesa. Even Rabiot, yes, he did the goal, but still, it's not the Rabiot that we've seen last year. I'm hoping that he doesn't extend his contract in the summer. Alexandro, again, no. The Verona game, no, it was Rugani, correct? Like the players itself, everybody, not really good.
no,
What are your thoughts, Alejandro?
yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. Only it was even worse. I think we got a point, but I don't think we deserve the point at the end of the day.
Hmm.
I think Verona were a bit unlucky to not really win it. It's not that they created a thousand of chances, but I had a feeling they were the better team. For a large part of that game. It like it's the same. It's poor. However, when we were winning games and we were not playing well, but we were winning games, like you said, there was like enthusiasm, like there was some drive, energy. It was gone, and I think when we went down 1-0 and there's a stat out there, and I'm gonna lie because I don't know it on the top of my head, but I think we only won 60% of our games since Allegri came back when we went down a goal. I think it's
Yeah,
16. That's really bad. Like that's a really bad stat to have because you can go down, like it happens in football, but that means mentally that team is not strong enough if they cannot play their favorite game. If they can keep it close, get one up, and then go from there. They struggle to do that, and you saw that because we really struggle. Like we really, really struggle, and it's I- like it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because we can say the season is overish, but you cannot have that type of collapse. And it wasn't that Verona were fantastic, but even in the first half, you said Rabiot. Like in the first 20 minutes, if Rabiot just was more clean with his passing in the final third, like he could have put Yildiz on goal a couple of times, but he was really poor. And it's frustrating. It really is because you were like 18 or was it like 17 points, 14 points ahead of Bologna. Now it's 9 points, and you're putting yourself in a situation that you shouldn't be putting yourself in. But other than that, like it's the same thing over and over again. Like we talked about the same thing. Is it a lack of quality of players? Yes, we all agree on that. However, you're playing Verona. Like I don't want to hear is there a lack of quality. You're playing Verona. You're playing Empoli. You're playing Udinese. If you need to talk about lack of quality, against those teams, I'm not gonna buy it. Maybe if you told me that in 2009 when we had that squad, I'm like, okay, not now. The squad is still good enough to do much, much better, you know. But on Sunday, I think it was more about effort rather than um, like the usual issues. I think Sunday was really, there was no effort at all, you know. And then when you're chasing a game, like we said so many times as well, um, there's no plan. You know, it's very strange. Like even Allegri, like then he puts the three up top, 10 minutes in, he subs him off, and then he put like it doesn't feel like there really is a plan if we are in trouble. And I think that's why a lot of people want Allegri out. The same people saying, you know, there's a lack of quality, but still, like this is not good 3 years in. And I know people are sharing, oh, we have more points compared to 2017. I'm like, that maybe also tells you more about the league as well, a little bit, you know, um, because we got more points than 2017. But are you going to take this squad over that squad or that Allegri version? Like nobody's going to do that. So the comparison is a bit odd, you know. At the end of the day, 3 years in, I think it's time for a change. You know, I really do. And I have nothing like I'm not going to put out billboards. I'm going to do hate against Allegri. I'm not that, like if somebody wants to do that, hey, that's up to you, you know. But I'm not gonna quote unquote disrespect him. You know, me personally, I still think he's a legend. But for me, it's time. It's time to move on. We need something. We need something fresh. We need new ideas, and that's just my opinion. And it's not gonna change until like not now, and also not at the end of the season.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Speaking about these things, we've seen what happened at Times Square. People were going against Allegri. Then someone post, which I know who did it, said Forza Allegri, Forza Juve from the North America Juventus club. I'm not like that too. You know, yes, I'm all for a change, but it gets a little bit off board. But what you were saying about that one goal concede and then uh, things start to lose up, I had that little feeling. Yes, we were all hyped up, the 6-0, 3-0 against Lecce whatsoever, but then,
I found the stat. I found the stat. So
yeah,
since Allegri came back, they went down a goal 46 times. No,
wow.
60, 46. Yeah, well, 46 times they went down a goal. And listen to this. Only 6 times did they win those games. So 40 times, like they went down 46 times. 40 times of those times they didn't win that game. That could be a draw, whatever, but only 6 times they turn it around. That's a really bad stat. That's a really bad stat. And I think that, well, it's still a bit surprising. But then if you see how we play, we sit back, we try to take the lead, and we like, close up shop. But that's not a good stat. It's not a good stat because it's not always going to work. You know, it's not always going to work, and
Yeah.
that's a real big issue.
That is a big issue, and you said yourself about the changes. I wasn't happy, at the 80th minute he puts Akarat, and you see a little bit of difference. He should do the right change and put these players on the right position. Like Locatelli, I'm sorry, he hasn't been playing well. Like I don't know if you put him in the right position. Yes, he has the green. You can tell the second half he was putting, fight to the team. Die. But still, guys, we got to do a lot of work. Then I understand
Locatelli,
people can say quality, but we have one competition. It's Serie A.
yeah,
It's not Premier
yeah,
League. Like I'm not expecting extraordinary because we see Inter. They're on top. We cannot say anything, which is
yeah.
hard for me to say.
But
But then we got lucky enough because Milan lost, unfortunately. But we cannot rely on the other teams as well. We got to look on us and try to get as much points as we can.
yeah, I agree. All Locatelli, like, it's not that he cannot play this position. It's just I think we lose a lot of quality. You know, I think
Yeah.
he's better if you play in a two, in a pivot. You know, or if you move him just on to like a more advanced role instead of just sitting there. He's not having a poor, like if you look at the stats, he's not having a very poor season. But I think we all have the Locatelli of Sassuolo in mind or for the Azzurri, And then you look at this and you like, oh, and I know it's complete, but I think it's a bit biased from ourselves. Like we've seen him play, and now we need to watch this, and we're like, you know what, we're kind of wasting it. I think that's more of the situation. But we don't have another, like you have Nicolucci, but you're not going to play Nicolucci's. Like the squad is also not built as it should build. I fully agree with that. But you know, you make certain changes, you make certain decisions, you should be making those, you know, because if you keep doing the same things and it doesn't work out, it becomes a problem. Like Kostic, like again, like you keep doing it, but there's no output from him. You know, at one
No,
point, as a coach, even if you like Kostic, you need to sit there and be like, I need to do something else, because I don't care if he's working hard defensively. He doesn't offer anything moving forward. And that's a big problem. At one point, as a coach, like favorite player or not favorite player, you just need to be honest with yourself and you're like, I need to change. And maybe even formation. And if you want to keep Kostic in, fine, but this is not working. And
no,
everybody can
it's
see it.
not.
Everybody can see it. Like even people who want Allegri in are like, okay, Kostic, this is not working. So he's also a bit stubborn at times
Oh man,
because
really?
yeah, I mean, on Sunday, Alcaraz, like you said, he should be starting. Like he should be getting a fair shot now. Like you play Frosinone at home. If you don't play him at home against Frosinone, then when are you going to play him from now until the end of the season? Away to
I
Cagliari,
know.
that's the only like really bad game you still have left. Other than that, you're playing the top 13 of the league basically. You know,
Yes,
so if you're not going to play him against Frosinone at home, then when are you going to play him? Because you said like he had a little cameo, like a little spell, but it was clear he's different. You know, he's very direct, very vertical. The pass he played to Rabiot, you know, down the middle immediately, different player, and that's why we brought him in. Also, like that's why we
yes.
signed, or that's why we're paying 1 million euros a season to bring him in. So I find it very strange that you know he's not getting all the minutes he should be getting at this moment in time.
Because we all know Allegri, he's stubborn. He just like to keeps his sons, like Rabiot, like you just said, Kostic. But he needs to be changed because we don't know what Allegri's future is going to be, in or out. But if you want to at least to have a face and a smile at the end of the season for top four, let's roll. Let's do a little bit of change formation and let's see these guys do something different. Not with this typical cortomuso or being scared. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Anthony, he's a Milanista. Anthony, he said both Milan and you fucked up this week. And as simple as that. Well, I agree with you. Pioli sometimes reminds me of Allegri. He did bad choices doing that turnaround with the Mozza. Both Allegri can be stubborn. Yeah, that's what I just said. They have the same mentality. I always say it, but we got to wait and see. We got to. They're both futures are on the go. So I don't know. I don't know what to say because speaking of, I wrote something here. Thoughts on Allegri's future. I want to get into that because, funny enough, today Allegri was at the museum, Juventus Museum, celebrating his 406 days presence with Juve.
yeah.
Like you said it, me too. I don't deny his
Legacy.
quality as a legend. You know, I'm all for it, but I won't judge on what he did. That's completely stupid. You know, like most people can say. But you know, a lot of people are not happy because there's a picture with him and Ferrero celebrating with the glass of champagne whatsoever, and they're thinking that he might stay. So I don't know what to say, my friend, because this morning they said in June they will figure it out. Now we hear Conte might go to Bayern. Mota is not too close to Juve. He might go to Milan. Like these are all rumors that I don't know what to believe anymore. Like I hope this Conte Mota rumor stays at Juventus because I don't mind seeing him, which I don't mind seeing Conte, but I don't know. But for me personally, like if of course he wants Allegri wants to see what's going to happen with the project whatsoever. But if they're not going to give him the players that he wants, these top players, that's the only way we can see Allegri striving because we got Champions League. I don't know if he's going to stay or not. What do you think about this situation, my friend?
Yeah, like I said when before we went live, I think nobody really knows
Knows.
in the media. It's all about like feelings, or like whatever. Like I think he's gonna leave, but it's a feeling. Like I don't have information. It's just a
Yeah.
feeling I have. I don't think the media has one as well because I think because I read Tutto Sport every day, Gazzetta dello Sport, Corriere dello Sport sometimes. But if I go back a couple of days ago, weeks, it's he's gonna stay and he's gonna leave. We're gonna both agree that he's gonna leave. They will discuss it at the end of the season. Allegri wants to discuss it now. When that type of news comes out every single day, nobody really knows. You know, um, I um, I don't buy they're gonna wait until the end of the season because you should have your plan set. At the end of the season, you're not going to sit down and discuss. Like you should know by then okay, it's over, because you need to have your work kind of done. You need to know who the next coach is going to be as well, because when we moved on from Allegri the first time, it took way too long before we appointed Sarri. Like it took so long, if you remember that, like way too long. And you cannot have that again if you're going to move on. So again, I said after the Coppa Italia semi-final ties against Lazio, win or lose, we will hear more rumblings. I think then at that point you will hear more real news from very good sources or even the bad sources, but being consistent with it, I believe.
Yes.
So um, let's see. I have a feeling he's gonna go. I have a feeling. I don't think he's gonna do. I don't think he really wants to be part of this anymore because, like you
Yes.
said, it's gonna get worse in terms of worse. The players he's gonna get, you cannot, like at one point you cannot throw them under the bus. You cannot say, "Oh, we have a young, unexperienced squad," because those are the players you're gonna get. So you cannot do
Even in the
that. And
summer.
yeah, and for Juntli, like you come to a new club. Do you want to be the guy that ties your future to a coach you didn't pick? That's also like a big thing for Juntli, because he kind of is writing his future already now. If you give him a new deal, you made that decision to keep Allegri and you need to ride with it again. So that's like all mixed thoughts I have. But
Mm.
like media, like we don't need to listen too much to the media at this moment in time, because
Yes.
they will put out everything because we lost and it's easy, to sell. I get that. That's how the media works. I know a lot of people get angry about it. I don't get angry about it because that's just media. Like not just now, also 10 years ago. Like it's always been like this. So I can
They're
fully,
trying to make money.
yeah, like that's a business, and we talk about it, so we cannot get pissed about it because we talk about it every single day. So that's that. But yeah, man, I don't see how this can continue. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. Like I don't think he's a
No.
bad coach. Like I don't think somebody says he's a scrub. I don't think that, because if you're a scrub, you don't pick up so many points. Like I never denied that. I'm not going to deny that.
No,
Like a
I
bad
agree with
coach.
you.
However, I just think we need a different twist to it. We need something. We need to try something different after 3 years. That's all I've said. Like, I didn't say he's a bad coach, and I know a lot of people are trying to discredit what's happening now and pull that back to in the past, saying, "Oh, he wasn't even good in the past." Like I don't want to do
No,
that. I don't
that's
want to
what I
get
hear
into that.
too.
That's a bit disrespectful, in my opinion. But I just think it's time for something fresh, idea
Well,
wise.
yes, because with this Allegri situation, we've seen even the fans, they're dividing. People
Yeah,
call Allegriano. People like they call me anti-Allegriano. I'm not an anti-Allegriano. Like you just said, I just want to change. And for me, Allegri, if he's going to stay, if they don't bring the players that he wants, it's not going to work. And he can tell that the the Società, they kind of lost faith in him. So
yeah.
we have to just wait and see. Like I know the Juntel and company, they're already keeping their options open whatsoever. So then these rumors about Conte going to Bayern, which we have to see if he signs the contract. Then Motta to Milan. I don't know. What is your pick between Conte and Motta, Alejandro, if you have to choose?
Oh,
It's a tough one.
I know tough because tough with I said I'm gonna discuss that after there's officially news on Allegri. Otherwise, like we're wasting too much time. However, I've always said if people watch my channel, I don't want old things back. I didn't want
Yeah,
Allegri back. I didn't want Bonucci back. I didn't want Pogba back. That's just me personally. People
same.
say, "Oh, you can have Delict back." I don't want Delict, and I love Delict. Like if we moved on, we moved on. It's done. So that's why I'm saying no to Conte. However, I do understand why people want Conte. I do
Yeah,
understand why people want to bring Conte back. But again, with the plans we have in mind and the players we have, the young players we have, and I'm not saying that he's going to kill him. However, Conte also has a certain mindset, on
yeah,
players he wants, and at times it doesn't is not really about pure talent. It's about the mindset, and I fully get that as well. But that's also the risk you're taking with Conte, you know, because I
yeah.
think it's going against a little bit what the club is putting out there for the last 2 years. With Motta, you know what I fear with Motta? That he will get slated by a big part of the fan base, saying, "Oh, you didn't win after one season? Get out," because people wanted Allegri out, and it's not fair because he's
No,
still a
I
very
hope
young
not.
coach. He's still a
Yeah.
very young coach, Motta, and he needs to learn still. He will make mistakes because he's doing
Yes.
well at Bologna. He's doing well, but at
Oh,
Juve,
very well.
you're expected to win at Juve. Even this season, when people say, "Oh, the expectation is still winning," you go for it. If it's a Coppa Italia or whatever, that's the expectation. So with Motta, I like Motta. I really do like Motta, because when people say, "Oh, you want the Zerbi or you want this," I think Motta is really balanced in what he does. He
Yes.
has a clear identity. It's all how would you put it? It's not really chaotic. Like it's like okay, it's passing lanes, like simple things that we have been missing all season long, basically. So I like Mota, but I don't know. Like I need to think about it because there's so many other names out there that could be
Yes.
um
That we don't
a
know.
possibility that we don't know. There was a rumor about Conte saying no to Bayern because he still wants to join Juve. And
Yeah,
if
that's the
if
thing.
you call Conte today, he will sign today. Like he will sign today for next season. He will do that. He
But
wants
the
to come back.
question, but the thing that bothers that most Juventina, I have my friend Nick Cardone, no Motor Conte, get some random promising managers. Who knows? Maybe a random guy in Spain can be good. Because we all know a lot of Juventina, they don't want Conte about the Inter situation. The Motta is Interista. But the way I look at it, they're professionals. Like, if Motta is not the case, I wouldn't mind Conte. Like, I don't like Minestre scattati too. Like, I don't like leftovers. Like, I agree with it. But if there's no other option, he's willing to come change things, why not? But then
Yeah,
we
but
have Adam.
Nick is saying like get a random guy, and then he also said Motta's not experienced enough. Then the random guy is also not going to be experienced enough if it's a random guy. At the end of the day, like it's still Juve. Like you cannot really get, I don't know, the Osasuna manager. Like you cannot really do that. You still need to have somebody, and Motta is not a nobody. Say like he was
No.
a very, very good player. Like people, I think people, he was one of at the time, he was one of the best midfielders out there. I think people forget
Yes,
that.
he
Like
was.
he was a very good player, like very good player. I think people forget that. Not the players, but you still need to have somebody with some sort of how do you want to say that aura, you know, well known a little bit. I think at this moment in time because it is a young team, so you will need to have somebody who can actually shield the media from the players a little bit when needed. I think you still need it. I think Mota, if you listen to Mota's pressers, and I watched a couple of them this season, he's very in control. He's very in control. He's very calm in the situation. Like his responses are always very clear. Post game, if something happens, it's very basic. It's very clear. No drama. I think that's
Yes.
something the club really appreciates as well. Being Juve, like we know, how Juve is. Allegri, if something happens, Sanitana, the goal last season, remember, no
Yeah.
offside. Allegri was like, whatever, we take it. That's how the
Yeah.
club is. That's how Motta as well is. Like it's very strict. So I think that's also a thing the club really likes. With Conte, Agnelli is gone, so he has a better shot. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I still believe that Alcan told Giuntoli, "You fix this. You tell
Yes.
me what you want to do. That's fine.
Eh,
That's normal. Like he's still the boss. He's the owner.
Yeah,
but
he is.
you fixed it. Like I don't want Alcon to make decisions. I don't. Like Juntili is a football guy, not Alcon. You
Yeah,
know, we
because
can
he's
do
more about the
Ferrari.
money.
It's the money. If, I think, and he should have told Juntili, here are the keys. You fix that for me. You make Juve good again, sustainable and good. So if you did say that, and that was the rumors at the time, or that was the news, then you need to trust Juntili. Like everybody kind of needs to trust Juntili because we all asked for Juntili. Remember? Oh, it was a good thing. You need to
Yeah.
trust him now as well. If he wants to keep
Well,
Allegri, I won't agree, but I'm like, okay, you made that decision. Now you need to make it work. And if he
yes,
makes it
bring the
work, I will
players
come
that he
on.
wants. Yeah.
I will come on and I'll say, you know what? I was completely wrong. And if you're winning, I'm happy to be wrong if you win. I will
Yes,
come on and say, hey, sorry, I was wrong. I have no issue with that. I have
exactly.
absolutely
Same
no
here.
issue with that. But a lot of pressure on Giuntoli this summer because a lot of decisions need to be made.
Well, the thing is this, Giuntoli came in a bad moment that he had to fix
Yeah.
everything. So we have to
Yeah.
give him time. And I know his thoughts is for Motta, but I know fans here they want an experienced coach whatsoever. But we either Motta or Conte, let's say even Zidane, which Zidane, you need the money, you need the players. You have to give them time because it's not for sure that if Conte comes, boom, he's going to win the Scudetto or make us go to the final at the Champions League, which he did not have in the past with Conte's experience in Championship. But guys, we
Yeah.
got to be calm because it's been 6 years, like the season hasn't finished yet, that we haven't won. So I know back in the day, even the old school Juventini, 9 years I heard they haven't won nothing. So we got to be patient. Let them concede with the right project. I want to see them compete. And so when I see, yes, winning trophies and, bada bing, bada boom, you know?
Yeah. I think like winning 9 didn't really help us, you know? Like
Yeah.
normally you don't win 9 in a row. Right?
Yeah.
I think we're never gonna see Juve win 9 in a row again. I can be like, I hope I'm wrong, but you don't see that. You know, that's
No.
not normal. So we're kind of spoiled in that regard, you know. But we're not spoiled in terms of this club is all about winning, you know. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't expect us to go win 9 in a row again. But you need to be in the mix, and you can have off seasons. But this is the 4th year of an off season, like Pirlo 1 and then 3 now with Allegri, where you're like not even close to competing, and that's too long. It's just too long. So I do understand when people say the next one needs to win immediately, but you also need to be realistic because nobody was demanding from Allegri to win now, and it's year 3 because we know the
Years.
situation. And I know like Allegri fans will try to portray a picture that we are saying that you needed to win the Scudetto. Nobody said that. Like nobody said that. We just say year 3, you need to be in the contention. And in this moment in time, we're not even close. Like, and people
Mhm.
say, oh, but in January we were. It's January. Like you need to be in contention to the final month. That's a title race, not January. January is not a title race. We're not even close.
Exactly.
Like it's going to last season where we finished, I don't know, 20 points or 16 points or what was it? So that's the only
Yeah.
thing I want.
Yeah, well, we just have to be patient and I think with Junduli and company, hoping Elkan does the right decision and listens to Junduli, hopefully sees something good. Keep on putting these likes, ladies and gentlemen. Then of course go through the Bianconeri zone. I'm looking here, Inter still 0-0. They're going back and forth, but
Yeah.
no action whatsoever. Moving on about Juventus still, there's a lot of talks about our boy Chiesa. My question is to you and to everybody at the chat. You want Chiesa leaving? Because there's a lot of talks about Chiesa. A lot of fans are not happy with Chiesa. And all I know at this moment, if Allegri stays, he might leave because he doesn't want to do the 3-5-2. And then there's some issues between those two. Nothing to the point that they want to punch each other's face. Like, correct me. Let's keep it clear. But me personally, with Chiesa, like I love the guy whatsoever. I know I'm pissed off with him too because his latest games, you can tell that he is not happy. And it's true that he kind of asked for it because you can tell he wants to do things in a rush, then he can barely score. So, like if he leaves in the summer at this moment, I know they're probably going to get 25, 30 million. But if he extends that contract, that 1 year contract, then if things don't work out, then you can probably sell him for more. Well, what do you think about the Chiesa situation?
Um, the situation is not good. You know,
Yes,
talk at the end of the year, it's not good. You know, it's all set up at this moment in time for him to leave, even if Allegri leaves. I think it's all set up for him to leave.
I think
With
so.
Chiesa, is like if the rumors are true that he's asking close to 7 million, I don't think he should be on 7 million. Let me
No.
be clear. You know, and people say Vlahovic, I agree, but you know, Vlahovic signed the paper. Like you cannot change that. Like that's it. Like you can like the only thing you can change is please Vlahovic lower your wage. Other than that, it's signed. You know, you cannot complain now. With Chiesa, you're sitting down. He's not having a good season. Ever since he came back from injury, it's not really working, you know, and it looks frustrating to watch him play. It really looks forced. It looks
Oh,
the
yeah.
over the place. It looks like he's frustrated. It looks like he's forcing it, and it's just not looking good. Basically, I want him to stay, but it needs to be right for everybody. The fee for us needs to be good. He needs to feel well, you know, and whoever the coach is like, okay, I'm gonna use him properly. If those things are not like, even if one of those things are missing, it's hard to say because I like Chiesa, then maybe yeah, you need to leave. You know, and people go overboard. Remember when you had the Euros and I had the channel, you know, the Bianconeri, and people were in the chat, oh, he's world class, and I said no, he's not world class. You know, he had a good month or like a good stretch, but he's not world class. I think that's also where people are a bit mistaken because
Yes. They
you
cannot
can
go overboard on Chiesa.
they go overboard. Like you can replace Chiesa, but we don't have the money probably to do that. That's the issue,
Yes.
you know. And now 1 year left, it's a tough situation because he is in total control. Because if we don't give him the money, a Premier League club will offer him the money. They
Yes, like
will. And
Liverpool.
his agent knows. Like his agent knows. He knows. You know, he knows Chiesa wants to stay. That's a priority. But he also knows this is it because I can get that or even more from the Premier League. Even if you don't think he deserves that, I can get that. So what are you going to offer? Are we going to find you know, an agreement in between or not? Or are you like, you know, move him on? I don't know how much he's worth now. You know, we can say 60 and whatever. You know, if you look at the Premier League teams, it depends who's going to offer that money. But if the club gets a good offer, I think they will think about it. They really will think about it. So I said months ago, it's not a good situation. It's not a good situation. Like there's
No.
no real news. There's nothing. It doesn't sound good. It's like Dybala. Oh, it will come good. You know, let's wait and see. And then boom, he's gone. It's the same thing. It's the same direction.
Well, that's why I brought up Chiesa because there has been a lot of discussions through my channel on social media. People, the fans were arguing each other who wants him to go, this and that. I know we all love the guy, but then we have to be realistic.
Yeah.
I hope they extend that 1 year contract, even the same price. Chiesa has to be happy with the same price, not 7 million, and then we start from there. We have Anthony. If you can agree with Chiesa on the right number, I think he stays, but it's more likely that he leaves. That's what you just said, Anthony. I think everybody agrees with that, but I hope he stays as a fan. But of course, if he doesn't produce, I'll be the first one to say, well, it's about time for you to leave. Then
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
they get
Yeah,
some big money. You know what I mean?
yeah, I agree. Like I want him to stay, but it needs to be like he's 27 or is he going to be 20? People act like he's 23 as well. Like he's not
No, he's
27.
26, I believe.
I thought is he going to be 27? I
Yeah,
thought
I
he was
think this year I have to double check.
It's not old. Like I'm not saying he's old, by the way,
No, he
but
still can give
he's
a
not.
lot.
He's not a kid. Like some people say, oh, he's like the way people talk, they act like he's a kid. When I don't put all the blame on Chiesa on Allegri this season. You know, at one point he's getting in a good situation, he's forcing it, and I've always said about Chiesa, I like him, but at times he needs to pick up his head a little bit more. Like he's
Yes,
very, I'm gonna, you know, eyes down, and I'm gonna do my own thing. When if he remains calm, he can pick out so many players. He can be a total player, but that's where a big coaching come into place as well. Play as well, you know.
yes.
But yeah, I don't like where this is heading. You know, as well. Well, at the end of the season, everything is at the end of the season.
The season, yeah. We bring news through people that we know whatsoever. And yeah, then if it's going to be true, true. If not, not. But we all, the way I look at it, we all got to see with the signature. If there's a nice firma signature, then we
Yep.
can say for sure. I think we have one of your paisanos,
Yeah. I know.
Norbert. Hey, Norbert. Pleasure. Thanks for joining. Then speaking about other players, which I see a lot of Juventino are happy about, Rabiot. Like for me, Rabiot, I hope he doesn't extend his contract. Yes, he had a good season last year, but they make it sound like he's some kind of, they call him a Cavaliere or Bianconeri, whatever they want to call him. I I had some arguments with my fellow Juventini, but for me, I hope he leaves. He doesn't extend his contract because I don't think he's going to stay for less money. I know the Premier League are looking at. We've been here for years with the Premier League, and it never happened. So, what are your thoughts about Rabiot?
Um, when people watch my channel, they knew I defended him the longest. Even before
Oh,
he had a
okay.
good season, I said, you know what, I still like him. I still like him. I have nothing against Rabiot, and I don't not like if the club hands somebody a wage, I'm not going to hold that against them. But when a contract is up and you're demanding something, I will talk about wage. And now it's time to talk about wage. He's not 8.5 million euro a year player. He's not. Like he's not that type of player. He's not that. Even when he scores those quote unquote tap ins, they're good goals. You're not going to take that away. But I don't want to pay 8.5 million for that. Like I don't want to pay that type of money for that. So that's my issue with um Rabiot, to be honest. When I watch a Rabiot at PSG, I loved Rabiot at PSG. I was like, wow, that's a very good player. On the ball,
Yeah,
it's a very good player. Technically, very good. When I watch him for us, I'm like, I'm not really sure what you're good at. And the last couple of years, even he became extremely safe. Like this season, it's driving me nuts. Like he's so
same. That's what
safe
I'm
on the ball,
saying.
and he's not wasteful, but he slows down play. It's so, I don't know. I'm like, that's not special. That's not 8 million euros a season. Um,
No,
if he's
absolutely
demanding
not.
that, like if the club signs him for 3 years, 8 million euros, or even 1 year again, I'm like, get it over with now. So
Yes,
I don't know. Like if he has offers from Bayern and he has offers from what was it, or other teams as well, Manu again
the
apparently.
menu. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think if Allegri's gone, he's gone.
yeah.
If
That's the thing too.
Allegri leaves, he was like, I'm gonna take that deal. Maybe that's why he's waiting until the end of the season. If Allegri stays, there's a great possibility that
Well, I
he's gonna
think
stay.
everybody's waiting if Allegri sees or not
Yeah,
with the
but he
players.
he definitely, because he said it so many times. With Allegri, I'm feeling good. So I think his future is much more tied to Allegri than any other player's future. You know.
Yes, then he has to wait on his mom because we all know he's a mama's boy. So it all depends on his mother. Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm looking at this game. They're going back and forth by nothing. But Inter almost got a shot. That
Yeah,
kid, Turan, man, he's got to
but
be careful.
that's how you play, by the way,
Yeah,
against Inter. Like Atletico are not really scared. Like they're playing between the lines, good. And
yeah,
I do think they have better midfield. By the way, I'm not just saying that, but we didn't do
yeah,
that once in 90 minutes, and that's an issue. Like there's still
yeah.
enough quality in that team we had out there to do something in 90 minutes.
Well, with these teams, uh, like I said, Inter, they've been 3 years together. Inzaghi learned his mistakes, and they have a good midfield. That's why they play like a team, and that's where they're at. Like I'm not saying they're a Real Madrid. I will never say that. But Atletico, I barely watch Spain. They don't have Morata at this moment. I don't know if he's going to play second half.
Yeah, he's
But
injured.
like I said, it's going to be a Cortomuso match. They might go penalties at the second half. We'll see. But at the same time, it's a little bit enjoyable, don't you think? As soccer wise, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that.
it's back and forward. Like the final
Yeah.
pass is basically
Because I
missing.
don't, I don't know about you. I don't like Inter, so it's hard for me to give too much credit.
Nobody
But
likes Inter.
exactly, I don't want to offend none of our paisans like Anthony. He's only good Interista I can chat with. So yeah, Anyways, does anyone on the chat have any questions whatsoever? Uh, please still put the likes. Like, how many likes we have? Let me see on my computer because I'm doing everything on my phone and I cannot see these beautiful likes. We're at 5, really? That poor? Come on, guys. That's not good. Let me see. One segundo. Live. Let me double check here. 8 likes. Beautiful. And 1 subscriber. Perfecto. Keep on
That's
putting
good.
more. Then I, of course, put the subscription to Mr. Bianconeri Zoom because he does a wonderful job, and which I really like it. You know, our last live was beautiful. But even the live you did yesterday, I couldn't watching it about words of the peer. We can wrap it up with the words of the peer. Then we'll see the next 5 minutes of this game. Then we can give our 2 cents about that game. Uh, what are your thoughts about the Piero, the talks that he was saying about,
Um,
Juven in general
he praised Allegri, but he praised him for last season. I think people got it mistaken. He was praising him for what he did last season.
last
This
season?
season, he's been very harsh. Like he talked about Yildiz, being up there all alone, and he was very critical about that. Then he was asked about, do you want him to stay or like, will you keep Allegri? And he said, if I'm in the job, I will make that decision. He could have just easily said, yeah, I'll keep it, but he's not
Yes,
doing that. So I think that, and people
he's
say,
being
oh, but he's
professional.
yeah, but he doesn't need to be perfect. Like he's not in a job. Like he's a pundit, so you can actually say what you want. But I thought it was people were saying, "Oh, but like he said, he praised Allegri." Yeah, but he praised him for what he did last season, not this season. He was praising him for what he did last
Last
season. He was
season.
praying Yildiz to pop up and do well, but against Inter, he was criticizing Allegri, saying, Yildiz was up there all alone and he was struggling all those things. So I think he has an opinion and he just wants to keep him for. I think his opinion is very clear, to be honest. I think
Mm,
even he is like something needs to change here. But he wants to be the nice guy, because he doesn't really talk for the club. When Ravanelli and all those guys speak, they're closer to the club than Allegri at this moment than Del Piero. Like when Del Piero came back, for that game, that was the first time back at the stadium. And then with the Legends game, it was actually the second time. Like he's been gone from the club and it didn't end
yeah.
the way it should end. So I think he wants to be nice and he wants to keep it for himself. But I think also it's been clear. Like if you look at all the comments the past season from Allegri, I think it's clear what he also thinks.
Well, yeah, he's a professional. He's the nice guy, but he says things what it is. But he's not going to be like Materazzi, for example, that puts merda to everyone. He's a very gentleman. That's what I like about the Piero, and I always do. Which is funny enough, he's born the same day as me. Like I'm not professional like him, but it's a good honor to be born on his day. So yeah, there's going to be lots to talk about in a few days with this Allegri thing whatsoever. And we have a question here from Anthony. Do you guys see Spinazzola coming back to Juve? I heard these rumors too through Alberto this morning from all Juve cast. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. Then once again, why we have to bring back the leftovers? You know what I mean?
No, no, no. Like I don't. I think he will cry if we bring him back.
Yeah,
Come
because
on,
they're complaining about Chiesa. Spinazzola has injuries too. Like I like
injury. He
Spinazzola,
has
but
injuries every single month. Like he's not like
oh man,
we shouldn't be talking about Spinazzola. Like okay, Mirko Di Natale put that out there. Good journalist.
yes.
Done. I don't want to hear Spinazzola anymore. Like I don't want to hear that name anymore. Like that's
Well, that's
that's
only
that's
yeah.
a
Well,
no.
that's only hope. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, like we shouldn't like all players, but like his injury record, like it's a no, like it's done. Stop, like stop doing this. Like we should be better. I really struggle to believe that. I'm just hoping the club goes in the right direction now.
Well, I hope so too, because like I said, sorry for interrupting. I have this problem. uh, uh, I hope they get Cup Miners and Salmadic, but the rumors are saying maybe Cup Miners might go Premier League. Let's hope not. But I wouldn't mind seeing Cup Miners or whoever had the list. Rumors about Cruz, like I like Cruz, but I'm scared about Cruz coming to Juve because at his age, with the J medical, that's my only concern. But I do really like Cruz, but I don't know if he'll be good or you know.
I'll take Kroos, but it's not gonna happen. But I'll take Kroos
No, I'll
for two
take him too, but
seasons.
I'm
I'll
just
take.
concerned with the injuries because we had the Di Maria, great player. Then when he come to Juve, he went down. That's my only concern about
Yeah,
Cruz. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we can. We have 1 minute left here with the Inter game, but it doesn't seem any excitement. You have anything else that I'm missing
um,
from this
no,
morning's news?
I think
Because
no, I think we discussed everything.
everything,
Not much news out there, to be honest. Like just the
yeah,
usual news, but wrapped in a different paper. Like
paper.
it's the same news all over again, basically.
Same news all over again. If
Yeah,
anybody has some questions, I think the game here is finished. There's
yeah, it's
nothing much
finished.
at this game. Yeah, we're gonna see second half, but it's good so far. Athletic Madrid. I don't know if Morata will play the second half because I heard he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. I'm not sure if he's gonna get minutes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They're both playing good, but I see penalty shootouts at the second half with this game.
But there's still more. Like there's still the game to Atletico as well. This is the first like. There's still a
Yeah,
game away to Atletico.
yeah, the second leg.
Yeah,
Atletico. That's going to be tough for Inter because in Spain it's always tough. But you never know. Inter has been surprising us with the big games, so
yeah,
especially in Champions League. Unfortunately for us. But yeah. So I guess for us, Juventini, I hope we win. Oh, we have a question. Okay, before Reno, who do you think will be a good coach for Juve? For me, I always loved Klopp. Zidane, I don't think so because you need the money, and I don't think Klopp will come. But at this moment, if I have to choose Mota, I wouldn't mind seeing him. I have nothing to judge Conte. Yes, people can complain about Conte what he did. Me and Leon discussed this before, but I think Moto will be good in my opinion, and we'll see. I could be wrong, but at this moment for the young players, if they put some good quality, one or two, I think Mota will do a good job. But for me, I think Alejandro agrees with me. We have to give him time.
yeah,
Well, I know we said this because your paisano said the question. What do you think?
yeah.
Besides
Um, he
Malta
knows.
Conte, do you have any ideas or
He knows what I think. I
you
will
know?
speak.
Okay,
I will speak when it's time to speak. But he also knows like no old things back.
yeah,
That's me personally.
okay. Then we have Anthony Inter will need to grab a leading heading into the second leg if they want to. Yeah, because if they concede a goal, but even when they concede a goal, Inter can still score extra goals. So we'll see. If so far they're healthy, they have that's the thing with them. They don't have any bad injuries and they're stacked
Yeah.
compared to all the Serie A teams. So I'll close it out. Thank you all. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel. And of course, check out the Bianconeri Zone. Al, thank you so much for coming. And thank you all from the chat. Until then, one segundo. Fino alla fine, Forza Juve, Forza Italia, and I will chat with you about birds soon. Ciao ciao e arrivederci.